Sandy White from Simply Fit, your #1 health and wellness cheerleader. Guys, straight up, I thought it was gonna snow today. It's still pretty. And I hope it snows for the holidays. Well, with that being said, we are wrapping up our season. Guess what? You know, a lot of you all overdo it during the holidays, and I just wanted to give you a couple during the holidays, and I just wanted to give you pointers just in case that happens, so that you can beat your belly bloat and not have a miserable holiday. There are a plethora of things that you can do, and in no particular order. I'm just going to give you guys some of the ones that I think are really quick and easy, and you can really do this without anybody realizing that you have stomach bloat or gas, which is extremely, I know it might be funny to some of you all, but stomach bloat and gas really can hurt, and just make your holiday times, even if it's not holiday, just make your day miserable. I don't know, share with you guys some of the things that you can do so that, again, you can beat belly bloat and release gas, or in a nutshell, not even have your body created, okay? First one is going to be, I want to make sure I don't forget anything, and I'll leave a link for anything that I know you might have a hard time finding, but they're digestive enzymes. And basically what the digestive enzymes are going to do is it's going to help break down the food that's stuck in your stomach so that you're not uncomfortable and your body can receive the nutrients from the foods that you have provided to your body. Now, there's a list of other things. If you're like, I don't want to take any supplements, it's helpful, but you don't have to. So I'm going to read the list of foods that you should add into your diet. A couple of them right now: avocados, you can do kefir, you can do sauerkraut. I love sauerkraut. You can actually make bananas are high in sugar, so, but they do have potassium in them, and you only want to like do half of the honey in there. Don't overdo it. The next one would be peppermint or ginger tea. Now, if you're going out first thing, and some of these things, of course, you know, if you're going out, you need to properly prepare so that you don't put yourself in a situation where you're out and about at your event and you are feeling miserable. But here's one that you can do, and that is just take 2 or 3 tea bags, I would say 2 each, peppermint tea and ginger tea, and or you can take a couple pieces of peppermint. But keep in mind, peppermint candy actually has a lot of sugar in it. And one of the ways so that you can stay on your wellness journey is to make sure you're not consuming excessive amounts of sugar or processed foods. And guess what? Peppermint is a processed food. So if you take the peppermint teas, regardless if you're at someone's home or you're at or out and about at a restaurant, you can always ask for a small coffee mug with some hot water. They will all always have that. And with the peppermint tea and the ginger tea, it's going to stop your stomach from being upset. It's going to stop it from having all those unnecessary spasms. It's going to reduce the gas, and it's going to make you feel so much better. Not alone, it's going to make your breath smell good. And guess what? When you take fresh ginger, it cleans your palate. So if you're out and about going to a bunch of holiday parties, whether they're holiday parties or not, but you got a lot of events to go to, or you're out and about eating and your stomach starts to become upset, before you dive into the next event or the next dish, you can clean your palate with fresh ginger. So that's another way to have, like, I love sushi. I don't know how many times I'm going to tell you guys that, but guess what they give you? Fresh ginger. So it helps your stomach and it also cleans your palate. Fresh, because it really does make your food taste so much better when you're able to clean your palate in between each of those meals. I shared with you guys peppermint, but I didn't tell you what it does. So peppermint, I did. I shared it with you. But you can use that in a tea. You can use that in the essential oil. So that's the other one I didn't tell you. I told you could use a candy, but that's processed food. So you want to reduce that as much as possible. You can use a tea. But if you're like, I really don't like tea and I want to have to do that, you can actually do that in an essential oil. And here's a way that if you're like, I don't want to have a situation where I've got this small, tiny purse. It's beautiful. I don't want the cap of the oil to come off. It's the holidays, so you'll be able to get away with this. Take some petroleum jelly, warm it up, add about 3 to 6 drops of the peppermint essential oils in it, rub it or mix it up in the petroleum jelly, and then rub it on like behind your ear, a little bit on your neck, down your décolleté, on the palms of your, like, not the palms, but the inside at the bottom of the palm of your hand, going up your forearm. My God, it's gonna be like holiday. Like, who is that smelling like? Peppermint. Oh my God, yes indeedy, that would be you. Or if you're having congestion problems, which has nothing to do with digestion, but when you're congested, you can't taste your food very well. Guess what? Peppermint would be your best friend. All right, so let's move on to the next one. I did tell you guys a lot about, no, I didn't share this bottom part about the ginger. So here's some things that you need to know about ginger. So not only is it going to clean your palate, it's going to raise your body temperature. It's going to blast off calories. You know what? You guys eat too much sometimes during the holiday. I've done it too. But ginger will stop your cravings. It will reduce those. And I know you're like, but it's the holidays. I want to eat all I want to eat, you know, but you can do it in moderation. And for some of you all, you're like, well, I'm having a hard time with that. Okay, well, add 1 to 2 tablespoons a day of ginger. You can add that to soups. I told you about the tea. You could do hot lemon water and ginger in the morning time. A 12-week study showed that if you do 1 to 2 tablespoons of ginger per day, it will help you to lose weight. And if you do this consistently throughout the week, you'll start seeing that it'll start flattening your belly behind your ear. I love ginger, period. I had to get myself off of the ginger beer. Guess what? It's a lot of sugar in there. So hot lemon water or just hot water with ginger in it, a little bit of organic honey does the trick. I love ginger. Ginger. You can add this to your salad in a ginger dressing. I'm going to read the ingredients. So it's a ½ cup of olive oil, grated ginger, 1 to 2 tablespoons of the grated ginger. Then you want to add in 1 to 2 tablespoons. Make sure that the soy sauce is low sodium, please. And then you want to add in, I love garlic, but you only need a teaspoon. I use two teaspoons. I love garlic. But all of those ingredients, you mix them up. You can add them to your salad. But if you're like I like bold taste, so I'll go above and beyond. But the ingredients that I just provided to you guys, those are the basics that you can actually use for your ginger dressing. So you're like, how can I get in 2 tablespoons a day? A salad, you could take banana, I'm not about to say banana nut. You can take butternut squash, add in a tablespoon of Greek yogurt, and then 1 to 2 tablespoons or teaspoons, because you guys have heard of French toast, but you can actually do ginger toast. You can use grass-fed butter, you can sugar, and a little bit of the ginger, and you can make your French toast the same way that you would actually do the ginger toast. Alrighty. Not least, this one is just in general, so that you do not have the holiday 10. We want to see not an increase but a decrease. You want to make sure you're getting in 100 grams of protein. That's any of the chicken, fish, the beef. Just make sure that you're not overdoing it with the salt. And then you want to keep your carbs down to 20 grams. And you're like, well, how can I do that and still not feel, grumpy? You can actually do that. Just use the carbmanager.com. It will help you manage your carbs. And then when you're looking at the labels on all the foods that you're purchasing, just make sure that it says it's low in carbohydrates. So all you're doing is taking the carbs, minusing out the fiber. The last one I want to remind you guys, we don't want to add in 10 pounds over the holiday. We actually want to reduce it. So what you want to do is use the carbmanager.com to watch how many carbs you're digesting throughout the day. And you want to make sure that they're at least 20 grams. And then you want to make sure that you're adding in the 2 tablespoons of ginger, and then 100 grams of protein. That could be your protein. I'm going to recommend that you all just start with an intermittent fasting. That's going to be the easiest way for you to actually so the intermittent fasting, if you're new to the channel, that's just a window of time that you're going to eat. So like 16 hours off, 8 hours on that you're going to be eating. I would recommend that most of that 16 hours is going to be during the time that or half of the time will be while you're sleeping. So as an example, say you stop eating at 5 and then you don't eat again until like, let's say like 9 o'clock the next day in the morning, and you only have a window of 8 hours. But you will get used to it. It may be a little of a challenge, but that's how you'll be able to get in 20 grams of carbs, and they need to be clean. Use the carbmanager.com so that you can track, make sure you don't go over 20 grams. And then you want to do like 100 grams of protein. If you're over 40, you need a lot of protein. So you can get that from your meat, you can get that from your protein shakes. I just find it easier to do my protein shakes. You could do it from bone broth. While you're in your intermittent fasting stage, bone broth. Going to be your best friend. You can do beef or chicken. And then you want to do the 2 tablespoons of ginger in your tea, in your salad, in your soups. You can do this. You just have to plan ahead, and you have to just be on that mindset that you can do this. I'm not telling you guys to do what I do, but I typically will do it. I will start something new during a time like this, because it's easy to stick to whatever plan you're going to do when it's not the holidays, when you're not in a stress. It sounds counterintuitive, but if you can make it through the holidays, making yourself be accountable to not overeating and not overindulging, you can do this basically anytime. So with that being said, I love you guys, and I'll see you next week. And happy holidays if you guys aren't able to come back to the channel during that time frame between Christmas and New Year's. Mwah. See you later. Bye.